You know, every week we come on here on No Simple Road and I try and find some flowery, new, exciting, fun, and interesting way to tell you about things that I think are dope and that I think that you'll think are dope. And I thought this week I would just come on here and just shoot you straight and say, you know, Shop Tour Bus is awesome. And when I first saw Shop Tour Bus, I fell in love with them because their designs were different than anybody else's Grateful Dead inspired designs I'd seen out there. And they were putting love and intention into everything that they did by doing these like hand designed boxes with Grateful Dead lyrics on the inside. They're giving people trinkets and toys and putting a Miracle bootleg cassette tape in some of their orders. And I thought, you know what? That would be the perfect sponsor for No Simple Road because they're making dope shit. And I only want the people that are listening to the show to have dope stuff. Shit.
Yeah,
So,
if we're going to interrupt them, let us interrupt them with some cool news about dope shit.
That's right. So if you are one of those people that have never checked out shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram, you should go do that. And when you order your shirt, make sure you put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word, because the folks over at Shop Tour Bus are cool and they're giving you free shipping. So go check it out, shoptourbus.com. In keeping with the I'm shooting you straight and not doing the Aaron doing a commercial thing, our other sponsor, Long Strange Putt, they make really amazing stuff. They make cool t-shirts and fanny packs and pins and golf club covers, and they are part of our family. And again, what better people to be sponsors of No Simple Road and give you all cool shit than part of the No Simple Road family, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They are so cool that they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off when you order $50 or more over at longstrangeputt.co. You're getting 20% off your entire order. This is where you can get geared up for festival season. You can get your fanny pack, your new dope
You can
shirt.
look dope on the golf course.
Yep,
Your
their bucket
hat.
hats, that you're wearing right now.
And make sure if you're on Instagram to follow at Long Strange Putt because there's just all kinds of fun going on over there all the time.
Yeah, he is the master of the meme game too. So yeah, make sure to follow at Long Strange Putt, like Apple said, and go to longstrangeputt.co and make sure you use the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out to get 20% off on your order of $50 or more. This is the family, man. This is all of us taking care of each other, supporting each other. You're part of the family too, so go check it out. No Simple Road is stoked to have Sunset Lake CBD back with us as our sponsor. Sunset Lake is the real deal. If you've looked around trying to find CBD and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do, this is the place you need to go. They've got every kind of product you can imagine, including CBD tinctures with sleep gummies that are great for getting to bed, CBD gummy bears and reishi-infused chews that can help bring you a little bit of calm in a stressful day. They've got salve. They've got smokable hemp flower that's great for folks like me that don't want to get stoned and paranoid but want to have the benefits of cannabis. Well, now you got it. And they even carry CBD products for your pets, man. I'm saying this is Darwin approved stuff. Go over to sunsetlakecbd.com and check out the full range of what they have. This is Vermont grown right to your door, and they're giving you 20% off. So put in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out. You're going to get 20% off your whole order. And I know you're going to love it. They even have subscription options open for you, so you don't forget to get your medicine. Go check out Sunset Lake CBD, everybody.
I know the road may seem to go on forever in a lifetime.
Mel asked me what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I rarely do know what's going on.
That's
You know what's
untrue.
going on right there.
Right in this
area.
general vicinity right here. Hey now, No Simple Road family. This is Aaron. What's happening?
And this is Mel.
And this is Apple in Aaron's general vicinity.
Well, you're in your own vicinity, man.
That's true, man.
What's going on out there, everybody?
Well, Mel, we're just driving in the car. I'm at work. I'm at the gym.
Right on.
Right on, you guys. Sounds like fun. Hey, we have something really, really cool for you all.
Really
this
heady.
week.
I'd
Yeah,
say.
actually.
Very heady.
You're right, Apple.
Kris Howland from Heady Wax Fiends is our guest on No Simple Road this week. Let's hear it for him.
Woo,
Everybody, where's the applause? No, I can't do it.
No, it wasn't
Anyway,
queued up.
you get the idea.
Yeah.
Just picture in your minds, if you will, people applauding for Kris. I would urge all of you to go find out what we're talking about when we're talking about Heady Wax Fiends.
HeadyWaxFiends.com.
You are going to be rewarded with the headiest of heady record clubs on the planet.
Yeah, I would say this is one of those, which most people listening, we're all kind of audiophiles and love our music. This is, we don't need to talk about it that much because there's so much said in this conversation, but he's one of these people that you think you're into music and you meet him and it's like the professor.
Yes.
He knows so much about music and so much about albums and what he's doing for bands to do these and put these out. He gifted
really
us
cool.
a stack we got a Polyrhythmics, Goose, Bella Fleck. They're all just beautiful collector albums, all different colors. And he just has everything behind this, his soul, his passion. He was so fun to talk to.
Yeah. And met a new member of the No Simple Road family for sure.
Yeah.
And we met him on the best day of his life. He said that while he was here.
Oh, because
this was like a pinnacle moment for him, coming to Portland and about to record Polyrhythmics at the Get Down.
Yeah.
And so this was hours before that event.
He was pumped.
He was super pumped and stoked, and just like his friends were flying in from out of town, and being able to share this momentous occasion of this recording on his own record club with his best friend, one of his best friends, at his friend's place. And it just was really, and then, being here and being able to talk about it, something that was like a passion turned into something really beautiful and successful.
It's cool whenever, like, let me back up. A lot of us are doing stuff in life that maybe we weren't meant to be doing that thing. We fell into it, and that's what we do for a living. And maybe you're great at it and you love doing it, but you have other things that you're passionate about or whatever. But when you meet somebody that's like doing the thing that they were made to be doing on this planet, you can feel that. And that's how this was. Like,
oh yeah,
when he started Heady Wax Fiends, he found his purpose on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And the proof of that is the community that's been fostered over there, the way that it self-polices. And
he's such a sweet caretaker of it too.
Yeah, man. And you could, just from talking to him, you can just feel and tell how much he loves and cares about every aspect of what Heady Wax Fiends is.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes that came out of this conversation was, "It's my job to listen to everything to find something."
Wow. That's Heady.
It's Heady.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I have to say a very heartfelt thank you to Blake from the Get Down.
Yes.
For making this happen. Blake, thank you, man, for sending Kris our way and introducing us to another member of our family, and somebody that is passionate and truly doing the Lord's work when it comes to this music.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear that Polyrhythmics recording when it's done, because he's done a lot of repressings and stuff for people, and you'll hear in here how he also hooks up the bands and just supports everything about music. But that recording is going to be so awesome, from the Get Down and being the first time he recorded one. Yeah.
So you can go to HeadyWaxFiends.com.
Yes.
And take a look over there. There's forums. You can do a subscription, and
there's 3, 6 or 3, 6 in a year month subscriptions, or you can buy singles. The subscription is suggested because like you go on there, you can buy older issues of stuff, but a lot of them sell out pretty quick, and it's that pressing. And
and if you're, I mean, you don't even have to be somebody that's like an audiophile that's really into vinyl, man. Like that's one of the beautiful things about Heady Wax Fiends is that he's made this accessible to everybody. From the person that has a $20,000 rig to the guy that has the, little turntable in his living room with speakers connected to it. This is for everybody. So you know what? Let's stop talking about the thing that we're going to be talking about and do the business, and we'll get you to this conversation with Kris Howland from Heady Wax Fiends. So follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on all the social media platforms. When I say all, that includes Facebook and Instagram, not the other ones.
Not X?
Well, we have an X account, but we don't really use it.
Okay.
Only once in a while. Go to www.nosimpleroad.com. Get yourself some NSR merch. We got some Heady merch over there. We got some lot tees and No Simple Road shirts and mugs and all that stuff.
New Heady merch coming out soon.
Yep, that's going to be happening soon. Also, you can get a tarot reading with the Grateful Dead tarot deck from Mel and I. You could spend an hour with me and Mel, and we'll read your cards, man. It'll be pretty fun.
Doing some cool stuff.
You can sign up for our newsletter. You can get all the back catalog of No Simple Road up there, and also find out where we're going to be with our calendar of events.
It's that time of year for all the events.
Mm-hmm. They're coming. This month, end of the month, June
6th.
No. June 6th will be at the Get Down for Karen the Dancing Lady's 60th birthday celebration. And then at the end of the month, we will be at Mojo Family Fest doing a live podcast, and I think it's the 28th. What?
It's the 28th through the 30th.
28th through the 30th, Mojo Family Fest. You can go to bodimojo.com and get yourself some tickets there. And if you want to go to nosimpleroad.com, I'll put a link up there as well, so you can get tickets to Mojo Family Fest and come hang out with us.
Yeah, and if you're not living in Oregon, it is in Oregon City.
That's right. Thanks,
just so you know where this festival is. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, it could be on
world.
the moon for all you know.
And if you're in Oregon and on the fence, get off the fence and go listen to the episode we just put out with them, because it'll get you pumped and off the fence.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And plus, it's painful if you're sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
Poke your butt. You can go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. You can sign up on our Patreon for free. Yes, you can do that. Or you could sign up for as little as $1 a month, help support No Simple Road, and help us keep doing the thing that we are passionate and found our special purpose in life to do. So that is patreon.com. You get episodes ad-free and a day early. You get extra content like Connor, the No Simple Road archivist, is getting you the headiest and deepest cuts of the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia band. Andrew's doing his deep picks from around the jam scene, and all kinds of other stuff are happening over on Patreon. So go over there and sign up and find out what's happening, man.
Yeah.
And then what else?
Then there's the Apple Podcast. You can leave that 5 stars, and you can leave a review. No new one this week, but we got a couple this month, which has been dope for my birthday month.
And then you can do 971-808-1524, and that is the No Simple Road tepid line, where you can leave a story or a joke or something fun.
Like this.
Road fam, it's Dave from California. I'm back on the roads. Well, never left the roads, really. Anyway, Aaron, Mel, Apple, I'm just calling in to touch base with you on a couple of things. One, today's musical choice in my car is somebody that you guys turned me on to, and I'm really grooving and having a fun time. That would be the Latin Dead. And I am listening to their album, just grooving and
that's dope.
Really enjoying my time in the sun on the road out here before the rain starts this weekend. So thank you very much for the Latin Dead. I really appreciated that episode, that interview, and learned a lot, and got turned on to a kick-ass band.
Cool.
The second thing, and I think possibly more important, is I really appreciated, and as is so often the case with No Simple Road, needed to hear the episode with the Death Doula.
Oh.
And I do apologize. I can't remember
Crystal.
your friend's name right now off the top of my head. But that episode really meant a lot to me because my mother-in-law is going through cancer.
Oh.
Or was going through cancer. She's cancer-free, but she's got some other health issues going on. And I think that this would be the perfect opportunity to address some of the things that were in that episode. So, again, totally prescient, totally meaningful, totally what I needed when I needed it. Thank you. I love you guys so fucking much.
We love you too, man.
And I really appreciate everything you guys do on the show. You guys are fucking dope human beings, and I appreciate the fact that you spread so much love and positivity out there in the world. Thank you.
That's really sweet.
Wow, David. Thank you.
Yeah, man. That's really sweet. And David, just remember, man, that we're just a reflection of you, brother. And that's the truth. Ruth.
Aww.
Wow. And we got one more. We do. If I can make it play. Let's see.
I had some goals in my life. One of them was to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. I was going to make a movie when I was in high school. It was going to be called 5 and 5. I was going to break 5 Guinness Book World Records in 5 months. That was going to include the longest slip and slide ever, the longest leapfrog ever. That takes like 2 weeks of straight leapfrogging. Riding the entire New York City subway system in the shortest amount of time. I still will do that one day. And a couple others. The shortest will, just going to be burn it or to mom or to ma. That didn't happen. I didn't make it. But Trey Anastasio wants to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. He said it on a show because he was very intense about it. I can figure the exact show out. But I say, Trey, No Simple Road family, let's get into the Guinness Book of World Records. Hopefully this is coming through clearly. Here's my idea.
All right, John, let's hear it.
At Mondegreen, and hopefully No Simple Road can make it there, let's have the most amount of people wearing Groucho Marx glasses while also brushing their teeth at the same time.
Yes.
I think that's great. Everyone can get a pair of Groucho glasses. Everyone can get a toothbrush. And then we can get into the Guinness Book of World Motherfucking Records that no one will ever beat that one. And that was my idea. I thought I should spread it to the No Simple Road mycelium network first.
Oh my gosh.
If any other of you
John.
wolves have any other record-breaking ideas that we could do, because Trey did try to break a record for the most naked people. Didn't happen. Frenchie, R.I.P., love you. Bill Walton, fucking I love you. You're the man. Rest in peace. The No Simple Road heel on fucking just rant that you went on because you talk like me is the best thing ever. And I played basketball with John Aldo yesterday for the first time, and I was thinking about Phil. Anyway, side tangent. So let's get in Guinness. Let's do it for Trey. Let's do it for Mr. Walton. We can do the most people brushing our teeth, wearing Groucho Marx glasses, all while wearing Bill Walton jerseys. Ooh, that's even better. All right, I love you all. See you later. Have a great week. Oh, and Apple, happy birthday. Happy birthday month. It ain't over yet, brother. It is not over yet. You got 2 more days to rage.
Aww.
2 more days.
Oh, Johnny B,
Well,
man. Always coming through.
Finish strong that birthday month, Apple.
All like 10,000 people wearing Groucho Marx glasses,
brushing
their teeth.
Well, it wouldn't be all 10.
Now Bill and a
Why
Bill
not?
Walton jersey.
I don't know.
In a Bill Walton jersey.
Wow.
with green shoes. All right, John, it's out there now, man. So don't be surprised if when you get to Mondegreen,
You manifested that
bunch of
shit.
people with toothbrushes and Groucho glasses.
Woo.
That is proper use of the No Simple Road tepid line. Call 971-808-1524, and you too can do that.
You know, little known fact I want to throw out there because I think you knew this, but probably don't remember. I was in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Guinness?
In the Guinness Book of World Records in 1978 with my grandpa. If you go look at it, it was the world's largest truck tire at the time. It was at the convention center thing in Vegas, and me and him got our pictures taken by the world's largest tire, which was on the world's largest dump truck at the time.
And
I'm wearing my overalls, and he's wearing his overalls, and I was 9 years old.
Wow.
8 or 9, 8, I think.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
really adorable.
Well,
Yeah, just little odd.
if we're
tidbit.
sharing Guinness Book of World Records things,
Huh?
my dad was in the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest draw in the world. He was a quick draw when he was younger, in his early 20s, and he beat this guy Arva Ojala and got in the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest draw in the world.
See, he was a badass. He did something. I stood
What
by
year,
a
do you
tire.
know?
I don't. So 34. 64 maybe 60s
In the 60s?
Mid
Okay.
60s
yeah,
or
mid
so.
60s.
All right.
He was a handsome man too.
Yeah, he was.
He reminds me of Paul Newman, but better looking.
Yeah, yeah. Paul Newman was
Where-
not as cute as Aaron's dad.
Okay,
Yeah,
right on. Anyway, I come from good stock, I guess.
yeah, you do.
Let's get everybody to,
Oh, yes.
what I forget.
Huh? No, that.
Oh.
Yeah, get him to the episode. And
Yeah,
quit
hey,
talking.
If you're listening to the show, do us all a solid, man. Tell somebody you know and love about No Simple Road. That is how the mycelial network that Johnny B was talking about over there, that's how we spread it, is from word of mouth and heart to heart and mind to mind and
So-
soul to soul.
You hear about Heady Wax Fiends maybe this episode, and you never listened to No Simple Road before, and you're like, oh, you know, Kris from Heady Wax Fiends. I know Heady Wax Fiends. I want to listen to this. First time listening, you love the show. You think the conversation was great. Pass it on.
Yeah, man.
Just pass it on.
If you had like a really good cocktail or even like a really good drink somewhere, you would go home and tell your friends about it. You'd be like, oh my God, I had the best drink over at
Can't
blah,
wait.
blah, blah. Do the same thing with the show.
Yeah.
That's how we spread the mycelial network. So let's get into the conversation with Kris. You ready?
Yep. Ready.
Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Kris Howland.
Wow, we did it.
We did it.
Everybody take a breath. It's nice and chill in here. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? We're here with Kris W. Howland of Heady Wax Fiends. Say what's up, Kris.
Hello, everybody.
Woo,
So,
Kris, yay.
Kris, man, what's going on? You got a lot of stuff on your plate.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm out here on a little business and pleasure trip.
Welcome to Portland.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Huge fan of the town. It's kind of my home away from home.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that for a lot of people though? Like, I feel like Denver and Portland are so closely connected. They like either if you've lived in Portland, you've lived in Denver.
absolutely.
Well, not
lot of people
a lot
we've
of
met
people like that.
have-
Not everybody.
Yes. They're, like, I misunderstood. You're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
There's just that like a
It's
Common thread.
they're the same towns with different weather is what I like to tell people.
True.
A very progressive bubble, accepting communities, and then just this art and music.
yeah, the music, man.
We both of us, these towns have it figured out.
Get up on your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Sorry.
go. Oh, you're good. I know for us, when we go to Denver, and like last year we did a thing at Ophelia's, and we go every year for the Dick's Run at Phish and all that. It's one of the only towns that we go to, that we travel to, that I'm like, I could live here. I could live
Absolutely.
in Denver.
Yeah.
It's cool.
We actually thought about it before moving to Portland. When
Yeah.
we moved out of Vegas, it was like Denver or Colorado or Seattle, and then it ended up being Portland.
yeah. No, we can't live too far from my grandson.
Yeah, I mean, I had a short list of places, and it was like NOLA,
Okay.
but that would have just been a disaster.
We all need to know our limits, right?
Which was, prohibitively expensive.
yeah.
Seattle,
as it is now.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you've been listening to No Simple Road for a while, you know how stoked we are to have Northbound Coffee Roasters as a sponsor of No Simple Road. And before it's gone, you got to go and use the promo code No Simple Road over at Northbound Coffee so you can get 30% off your first order over there of the best coffee on the planet. This is a family-owned and operated coffee roastery out of Mount Shasta, California. Keith and Jen, the owners over there, have over 600 Grateful Dead and Phish shows between the two of them. So love and intention are going into those beans over at Northbound.
That's right. Brewing in every cup.
That's right. And make sure that when you go to northboundcoffee.com, you sign up for their newsletter to keep up with everything that's going on over there and get deep discounts and other things that are happening. Stay in the loop with them because they always have the newest, freshest roasts coming out every once in a while. And you want to know what's going on with our family over at northboundcoffee.com. So Kris, tell me about like the idea of starting Heady Wax Fiends. Well, wait, I take that back. Don't do that.
Yeah.
What is it for people that don't know?
So Heady Wax Fiends is a community first. Coming out COVID, I'd taken a really long social media break. And I needed it. I needed that community back because I wasn't doing what I do for fulfillment. So I wanted to start a music appreciation group, first and foremost, and a place where there's no gatekeeping at all.
So anybody can join.
I love that people are in there and engaged that don't own turntables or collect records.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
My whole life, kind of, as I've gotten into obsessive band fan bases or vinyl records, there's a lot of attitude and there's a lot of gatekeeping, right? There's kind of bullshit hierarchy, right?
Always.
So our core tenets is that everybody's exactly the same, right? And we have some rules. Rule number 1, don't be a dick.
Oh my gosh, that's our rule.
Yeah.
That's our number 1 rule.
Rule number 2, don't shit on anybody's appreciation.
Right? That's dope.
And rule number 3 is no unsolicited gear advice, right?
Okay. Dude, you should be using this. Yeah.
Our members with a Crosley suitcase player and like 3 Taylor Swift records are as important to me as people with 10-figure rigs or systems we call rigs and 10,000 records. So
thank you for doing that. Just on behalf of everybody. Truly.
Yeah. And it was hard. For a while, it was tough.
You had to regulate, mediate.
We did, and we were all friends at the start of Friends of Friends, right? And it's grown to 7,500 people.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah, and it self-polices now, but there's zero tolerance for being that guy.
Don't be a dick, man.
Yeah.
I think rule number 1 actually covers rule number 2 and 3.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Be fucking nice.
And then about a year in, I came to the realization that we had a member who was sight disabled and was using a reading program to read the group.
To crawl the site.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so artist and title is required on every post. And I'm also progressively having a harder time reading album covers on my cell phone. So it's about inclusivity. That's the most important part of it to me.
Wow.
Okay. I understand the desire of yours to foster community because that's what No Simple Road is doing. But what was it that made you feel that way about the membership? About like, it needs to be inclusive to the guy with the Crosley suitcase thing and the guy with the $10,000 rig. 'Cause
the
you could've just been
trauma
like, "Fuck it."
of going through it myself in other
yeah.
places.
Okay,
You
that's
know what I
fair.
mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you didn't see real Phish, you know? Or
Yes.
yeah, you guys know what I'm
Yes,
talking about.
I know exactly.
Or
Dude,
like-
you didn't see Jerry?
Yeah, or like you call that a turntable. You know what I mean? And I didn't want anybody who had the potential to be incredible to not try because they didn't have a place
That's so cool.
to evolve into being that person.
Yeah, because you kind of get bullied might be a strong word, but you kind of get
That is
pushed.
bullied.
It's
pushed
bullying.
yeah, you get
It
pushed
is.
into not saying something or not like
Yeah, it turns you
exploring
off.
Well,
something.
and then
yeah.
also you get fucked with enough. You either leave or you feel like you're not a part of.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's defeating the
you
purpose.
become the person that
That's very
is-
true.
That's true.
And I was very guilty of that for a while.
Okay.
In social media. The suicide of Jeff Austin. And then I didn't think anybody was reading it. Like, why would John Bell care what I think about widespread
Sure,
panic or
yeah.
why, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm never doing this again. I don't love everything. Who cares?
yeah.
I have so much to talk about what I love. And that was the deal. Like Blake, my really good friend Blake from the Get Down.
Shout out, Blake.
We were
We love you,
having
Blake.
we all love Blake. Yeah. We all love the Get Down. Yeah. We were having an issue for a while, like getting the buy-in. And Blake was like, if Kris can heart react every Radiohead post in this group, you cannot talk shit about things that you don't like, right? So I guess I kind of just outed myself there, but
If you're headed out to see Dead and Company at the Sphere, or going camping, or headed to a music festival, or a
Chilling
concert,
out at home.
or chilling out
Yeah.
at home,
Hanging
yeah.
in the garden.
Visiting the in-laws.
You want to, yeah, that too. You want to check out our sponsor, Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates. You want to do this.
Yeah.
This is the best idea that you've had in a long time. Trust me. And then the way you're going to do this is you go to Instagram and you follow at Melt Mushrooms, MELTMUSHROOMS.
Then you're going to let them know that No Simple Road, you're going to slide into their DMs, let them know we sent you. They'll send you their menu. They've got a bunch of stuff going on. Apple.
Well, as I say, then you have the hard task of picking between the 10 delicious flavors of chocolate bars, which also come in minis. And then they have 3 flavors of gummies also. And then if you're not into either of those, they also have capsules. So
That's true.
They got you covered. You just got to make the choice.
That's right. And, you know, keep an eye on the No Simple Road story, because over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing buy one, get one free days.
Oh, cool.
And so if you catch that in our story, shoot them a DM on that day, you're going to get buy one, get one free. But for right now, shoot them a DM, let them know we sent you. You're going to get 20% off your order from our family over at Melt Mushrooms.
I have gotten the most from fulfillment from people being like, I didn't know I could be like this. And I've seen some of my troll ass friends buy in, and then you start to see it in other parts of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about it is it's so easy to be that guy on Facebook. I don't have to look you in the eye and be like, you don't know anything
Right.
about
Yeah.
But you put it into, you know, it's this old adage, like, you used to get punched in the face for talking to people like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like this anonymous kind of thing to Facebook. So the community it's everything. And it's, you know, I married my wife and then I created Heady Wax.
So this is your
That's
kid.
it. Yeah.
That's your kid.
Yeah.
And you said that she is an integral part.
Yeah. So big shout out to Chelsea and my partner, Eric Myers, his wife, Jessie. They've made sacrifices that nobody sees and the support that nobody sees.
Right.
Because even though we have this really engaged, rabid fan base, there's a lot of insecurities that'll come in and pressure. It's like really frightening sometimes to, you know, push something that nobody knows about. That's not already like kind of an accepted thing. Yeah. So I tell people all the time, like, she is, she's Heady Wax Fiends member 0002. If I'm 0001, she's 0002. And behind every great man is a much better woman. Yeah. And behind every okay man is a even better woman. Yeah. And she's my biggest fan. She's my biggest supporter. She doesn't let me dwell on the misses or the losses. Just constant reminder of like, you just did this thing that is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of out of this Facebook group, there became this idea of like a subscription-based record club.
Okay.
And it was all, shout out to David Johnson. I know you're going to hear this. He said, what club should I join? And I offhandedly said, send me $40 a month and I'll ship you a record. That was January 2022. And we shipped our first release in February 2022 of 200 albums.
What was the first release?
So Kendra Morris, 9 Lives, off the Coal Mine label out of Ohio.
Okay.
And she is a very soulful, funky.
Ooh.
She would fit on a bill with the late great Sharon Jones.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Right.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right.
And that label was already very popular in our community, right? And so at the beginning, it was like anything we can get, right?
Mhm.
And then we were like, we have to add some value to this. So we did, we borrowed kind of the Japanese OBI, right? Which is this like, you know, artwork and information thing.
I
And
love
those-
that, by the way, so
Thanks.
much.
So cool.
I really love that.
And those first releases, we were writing like kind of info cards, right? And we would get them autographed. So that was our first release. Second release, I reached out to the buddies in the Kitchen Dwellers, and they're like, yeah. And that was the one where I was like, whoa, I'm going to be able to do this, right?
Like,
That
holy
was-
shit, this is my life right now.
That was
Yeah.
the release. And then our third record was a band out of New Orleans called Naughty Professor.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was just stuff we could get. And that first year we did bi-monthly releases. Blake found a record at Mississippi Records here in Portland by an old British funk band called Ultra Funk. The name of the album's Meat Heat. And the cover's even better than the name. Yeah. So we're like, well, we got to reach out and see if we can figure out how to license this thing and make it work. It was so easy.
Wow.
And that was our first exclusive color. So the basis of our group is exclusive variants, right? So like this polyrhythmics release was a color you could only get through us.
Oh.
And since then, that's been the thing, right? That's been the thing. And we finished our first year with a band from Marietta, Ohio called Oyo.
Mm-hmm.
And Oyo's banjo player is a gentleman named Bobby Robinstock from Just a Jar Printing, who does a ton of show prints. And he designed our OBIs for us. He did, bad example, you didn't get the print. He did I'll get you the print. He did an exclusive print for the Goose album. And that's came from my partner, right? So Eric Myers is my partner in this. We're the two principals, if you will.
Okay.
He is in West Virginia. I'm in Denver.
Okay.
So he has a family tree of musicians out there in Appalachia. It's like, I like to call it the Tyler Childers, Sturgill Simpson family tree.
Got it.
So we have kind of that focus. I'm in Denver.
So you got the jam
I
world.
got some stuff there.
Yeah.
And then Blake's out here in Portland. And when Blake recommends something, we do it. There's a blind trust there with me. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, and then we moved in the next year, and we'd had a relationship with Kitchen Dwellers Management Company, and they said, "Hey, you want to do a Goose EP?"
Shout out to the 11 group.
The 11 group, yep. And I said, "Yeah, fucking absolutely, yeah,
Fuck yeah, I want to do it."
And then Kitchen Dwellers Mirror Maid was going for insane amounts in the group because it was only a 500 pressing when it came out.
Okay.
I said, "Give me 1,000 of them." You know, and we did that one next, and it's just been, that's kind of how it's worked.
So as a member of Heady Wax Fiends, how does it work as you, as a member? Do you pay monthly and then you get an album?
Yeah, so we have 3 payment plans, right? So a 6-month payment plan is basically $1 a day for the year, and it auto renews every 6 months. Then we run a 3-month payment plan, and you can pay monthly, and you get a record of the month release every month. And then, you know, the hard part about this is timing. There's a ton of stuff I want to do, but it's coming out of time where I'm already committed. So we started a thing called Fiends Fault exclusives. And Fiends Fault came from the Facebook group. It was like, man, somebody posted this and I fell in love with it.
That's Fiends Fault.
Fiends Fault, yeah. So those are smaller runs of like 100 exclusive copies. And then we combine shipping on all that stuff.
That's dope. So you're guaranteed to get something kick-ass 6 times or 3 times.
And you don't know what it is?
We
or
announce,
do you know? Okay.
We do announce,
Okay.
yeah. A lot of people will not stream it until they get it. And the most fulfilling thing in my life outside of my wife's adoration for me is to see a post in the group that says, "I had no clue what this was. I never would have found it without the record club, and holy shit, I love this."
Aww,
and that is,
heck yeah.
honestly, the big records are great. Like the Goose record was great, but the stuff that we're helping kind of promote is the most fulfilling part to me.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We
because,
always say that.
Yeah, like we put out an episode that maybe somebody from the East Coast has never heard this, you know, West Coast, band. And then they're like, holy shit, you've introduced me to my new favorite. And I don't know why that feels so good to like connect, because we're not in it. You know what I mean? We just put it out. Like,
well, if you think about like you too, when we were teenagers before the internet, the coolest shit was to turn your friend on to something new that they had never heard before. I mean, that's how I got turned on to the Dead. Was somebody was like, you need to hear this music the right way.
And that's the only thing that was cooler, that you heard it yourself and then you couldn't wait to turn people on to. That's the best thing in the world, is hearing new music you love, but then having that to take to your friends and be like, dude, you got to come over and listen to this with me. We did a lot of that when we were young. We got to smoke a joint and listen to this.
It's always been such a massive part of my personality to do that. And the record club is like the epitome of that feeling.
Aww.
Like our first artist, Kendra Morris, that we talked about, she hasn't played a show since she started working with us that she doesn't meet one of us.
Wow. Wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
Dang.
awesome. You know what I mean? And she writes the best autographs on her albums and stuff. And like, we've become pretty close friends, and she's like, man, like I never expected this, and it's changed like my career and success in touring and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
And Torin was like, man, I'm so sick of having to talk like jokingly. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's like,
another person asked me about Heady Wax.
yeah, he's like, enough. Quit telling them to say hi to me.
That sounds
It's
like
not going to
Torin.
stop,
that's awesome,
Torin.
man.
Yeah, and then
What
so
a cool thing.
going into year 2, we were working with this band called Cutler Station. They're a bunch of dads with real jobs, and then they make music.
Okay.
Right. And they were like, hey, we want to do a record, but like we're not really sure we want to put the investment into it. So we're like, all right, we'll pay for all of it. And you could take your copies at the end.
Are you talking like a live album or studio?
That's a studio album.
So you paid for the studio time and everything?
Not vinyl mastering on.
Okay,
so not the studio time.
Okay.
Like they had a release, and CDs are still profitable in the Midwest and that part. And it was recorded for like streaming and digital.
I got it.
And we had gave all of our subscribers a surprise bonus record the first year, which was a Cutler Station record. And we were like, man, that went really well. And like, where else can we do this? And then my partner found an artist, John Ingram, out of, I think he's in Charleston, West Virginia. And we did the same kind of thing. And coming into this year, I was like, I want to do, this is the new goal, right? There's music out there that deserves to be on vinyl because it's good enough to be on vinyl, but it's not backed by a label. It's not, there's no machine behind it. So we've worked out this model. It's no cost to the artist. So I jump in at vinyl mastering, right? It's already mixed. It's been recorded. And then I'll pay for that. I'll pay for expanding the artwork to jacket format. We have a relationship with a pressing plant in Cleveland, Ohio called Gotta Groove Records. And they make fantastic pressings, right? So we press what we need. And then our payment, quote unquote, to the band is like, here's a run of black for the merch stand and for the website. And the ability to get that music out that wouldn't have got out without us is my life's work.
Wow, man. Congratulations.
Hell yeah, man.
Like, wow.
How are you finding these people?
Yeah, that was good question.
Because like that is
like
kind
Cutler
of
Station. How do you
like a
find
needle
out
in a
about that?
haystack.
So Cutler Station comes from Eric and his circles.
Okay.
Right? And I've had relationships with musicians over the years as a fan and a friend, really. Like, they're just people. You guys know that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think they're just people.
Yes.
You do one of these releases, like Kyle Tuttle, we're doing in the same format. It's May. That's our record of the month this month.
Cool.
He is the mayor of progressive bluegrass in Nashville.
Wow.
He plays with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
People are calling me now, right? Hey, I was talking to Kyle. What's up? How do I get? I want that Tuttle deal. Yeah.
Oh.
And another big thing is like you do artists write and their management company has a roster.
It's very similar to
the same thing as a podcast, man.
It's relationships, man.
Yeah, man.
And you
It's
treat people with
relationship.
respect and you do them right. And
I market harder to the artist than I do to our base in a
makes
way.
sense.
Yeah.
No, I totally
and it's
understand.
about keeping my promises, treating everybody with respect. Like, I'm not getting rich, man. This is not a thing that's gonna like retire me at 50. Being fair, and that's how I find it.
That's really awesome because upstairs you were saying like this is your passion project. You're not trying to pay your mortgage, whatever. That keeps the pressure off. It makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you can continue to go and you can have these spikes and all the different connections, but then that expectation of having to put food in your mouth is not there, and it keeps that passion burning.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, we've spoke about like how small the obsessive music fan group is, right? In reality, the artist is way smaller. So that's how it kind of works. I mean, I've been faking it for a long time. This is the year where it's really self-sustaining and
you feel
and
like it's doing its own thing now.
real easy now. Yeah.
Wow.
And the first year, I looked at it as not a burden might not be the right word, but it was scary.
Yeah.
It's an honor now.
Oh,
It is an honor now.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
I mean, how many years? We're like 3 years in.
This is my third year.
That's a pretty short
So-
time to feel like that, Kris. Good job,
Well,
man.
And not for nothing, but like we had people coming to us telling us to have you on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you. because I'm not great at marketing or advertising. It kind of feels like spam. And this situation felt like my opportunity to talk about this, and it's not going to sound like a commercial.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, we're just hanging out.
What you're saying, something you said at the beginning of it, I think the most important thing you're doing is what we try to do is, like you were saying, there's so many people in this world that they concentrate on what they don't like and being a critic and putting people down. You took your passion, turned it into something amazing, created a community where no bullshit is allowed. So like you said, I'm sure, like you said, there was some hurdles at first because people are prone to picking on each other and being a critic. It's like none of that. So you're also teaching these 75, 100 plus members now
how to be cool,
to get along, and then they're going to pass that on. And that's just amazing what you're doing, and the love behind it and the passion.
It's the best place on Facebook, and I can say that confidently.
Right on, man.
Yeah. You know what? I haven't even been there, and I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook, but I'm tempted now.
Yeah, it's
just for that.
Seriously, for the community, like you were saying. Like, I think at first, when we started No Simple Road, I don't know that was our goal or our thought or anything. It was there was no thought. Exactly. But as it started to develop, and you start to develop this community, one of the reasons why we have you on is because so many people in our community knew about you. And it's like, we need everybody to know about what you're doing, what's going on. Like that's our album. You're part of our album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And can you explain something to me, Kris? Like, sure. And I guess I kind of know this from growing up, but like, I'm sure that there's people listening that don't get it. Why vinyl?
The intention of it. So I despise silence. So there's always music happening, but it's in the background.
Okay.
I have a task. When I go, I call it my listening lounge, is where all of my records are at. And it's a recliner, and it's like the old
Maxell thing with
the tape. Got it.
My phone stays outside the room when I go in there, and I don't think about anything except for what that person is trying to say to me.
Whoa.
It sounds like a meditation.
It is. And I sit here with this like tangible thing, and I like read liner notes, and you know what I mean? And that's it. I mean, I was a bit of a pirate, if you will, for a long time. I have a pretty bitchin' digital music collection. So the obsessive collection thing is not new at all. And in a way, it felt like it was the best way to support artists, to buy this direct from them. Like with merch, you guys talk about it all the time. Like, buy the merch.
Buy the merch, man.
A t-shirt or a record is 1 million Spotify streams, right?
For real.
Yeah.
But I also celebrate every format whenever possible. And like I said in Heady Wax Fiends, like, you do not have to be a record collector to be a member of the group, and you're going to get turned on to a bunch of music. I have broadened my music so much from seeing what other people are doing.
What? I know you said you don't want to talk about yourself, but I have to know this. What was your first like mind-blowing musical experience in your life?
Polaris 7/31 1998 Phish. I was on a fishing trip with my buddies. Pre-cell phone, all that. I did Alpine, 2 nights at Deer Creek, and then came home, and I was like, oh, sorry. Yeah. I grew up in a really music household.
Okay.
But you know, we don't know anything about it. It's like to quote my spirit animal Ruth Lane Moore, I don't know shit about fuck, right? Because I like keys open doors. You know what I mean? You know, like the theory isn't lost on me, but I have always been able to listen really, really well.
To me, that's a talent. That really is a talent be able to focus like that. I remember there's a band called Leon the Third, and they came out with this release during COVID called Antlers and Velvet. And it completely blew my doors off. Like this band somehow tapped into how I was feeling emotionally and made music of it. And we had the good fortune of having them on the show a couple of times, and I've become friends with the guitar player. And we were texting one day, and I told him what I just said. I was like, I don't know how you guys did that. And he said, that's why we love coming on No Simple Road, because you guys are deep listeners. You hear the music the way that we're intending it for it to be heard. And I think that comes from psychedelics, maybe doing psychedelics helps. And listening to music.
Massive proponent of psychedelics.
Well, I definitely will say yes, but also like on a personal level, I love words. I love how they're put together. Mm-hmm. I love lyrics. When Aaron and I first got together, we would write literally pages and pages of notes to each other. Yeah. Just because like it was like our little Romeo and Juliet thing. And I journal, you know, like I absolutely love words. So when you're putting sometimes I can even kind of lose the music and just focus in on just what is being said. So like there's something about that listening that draws you in like nothing else.
Well, and I can remember times in my life of being physically transported by the music I was listening to. I like listening to Electric Ladyland on headphones. You're fucking gone. Yep. That's it. You're out. Dark Side of the Moon. Bye. You know, okay, computer. See you later. Like,
yeah. And it has this ability to take you to a place in your past.
Oh, yeah.
Positively or sometimes sadly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But isn't
and
this
the same
one thing,
songs can do that.
I'm sorry, but one great thing about that is that like sometimes, and it brings you to a sadness, it like soothes you also. Yeah. It for me, I have had that a lot. There's definitely times where I don't want to listen to a certain song because it brings you to a place you don't want to go to. But like I've had a lot of recall with older music and memory that has helped to soothe those types of feelings. And so that's another like music is medicine, you know?
Well, I was going to say something too, because I read, it was an article you did with I was reading it this morning. And it was talking about the desert, like your island discs.
Oh yeah,
and the third one you named, because I forget what the first two were, but it was Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream.
Yeah,
was the third. You're like, today Smashing Pumpkins, because that album, every song on there, depending on what mood I listened to it in, that album was one of them that helped save my life, along with a lot of other music, which is probably all of us, where music can save your life and turn you around. Yeah. But every song on there, depending on how I listen to it, it can make me cry like sad, or tears of elation and happiness. Yep. It has that.
That's an
it's
amazing
so alive.
album.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that on your thing, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I love Kris or Heady. It was a mix of.
What were the other two?
So Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds makes me believe in a lot of things that I can't see, touch, or understand. And every time I listen to it, there's a new slide whistle, or like a handbell. And name of this band is Talking Heads is.
DistroKid has been the industry standard for getting your newly created music out to the streaming platforms, and now the DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. Yeah, check that out. The app is now available on your phone. Go to the app or Play Store and download it. There's so many features inside this app. You can do things like sign up and pay for a new DistroKid account. You can upload your new releases there. You can see your DistroKid bank and withdraw your earnings. You even get notified when you've earned royalties and withdraw from the app via push notifications. You can see hyperfollow links. You can edit your account details. You can see your streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. You can even edit and add lyrics to your songs there. So like I said, go over to the App Store on iOS or Android and download the DistroKid app now. Also, they have this new feature called Mixia. I know a lot of artists struggle to be prolific and make their music sound as good as the music they hear from their influences and their peers. That's where Mixia comes in. Nothing's ever going to replace the artistry and expertise of a real human mastering engineer. But for artists who are short on time or resources, Mixia is a powerful tool to help make the music sound great in a hurry. Simple interface, empowering the most novice of music creators. It's got unlimited song previews of mastered songs with one free download, and for $99 you get unlimited mastered tracks. So go check out Mixia, and make sure to go to the App Store and download the DistroKid app so that you can get your music out there and get it heard. You're doing your thing, and they're helping you do it. DistroKid.
Almost a perfect record to me. Talking Heads are my absolute favorite band of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, and to get a little nerdy, a very specific window of coming out of the Remain in Light with the big band. Adrian Ballou on that second guitar, Bernie Worrell. They had two of everything, and it was outrageous. And I would do despicable things to see that lineup of that band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's there. I get to listen to it, you know? And I was talking to people about this last night. It's all the things that I really like have covered a Talking Heads song and made it their own. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Cross-Eyed and Painless by Phish.
Phish is Cross-Eyed and Painless. Oh,
come on,
Lord.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Good Lord. Yeah. I hope they play it every run I go to. Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
Did you get to go to the Sphere?
No, unfortunately not. Yeah.
Kris.
I know.
But just when you have the opportunity, sell your house, whatever the fuck you got to do.
Yeah.
Particularly you are going to shit your pants. It's
the sound.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry,
The
to get
whole
off
thing
track.
with the sound.
get it.
What, like,
Going to blow your mind, dude. I
So-
cried for 4 nights.
I bet. And like one of the things when I moved to Colorado, I really wanted to be a String Cheese Incident fan because I had gotten a B&P CD of probably Phish, and there was a filler of cheese, and I was like, what the hell is this exactly? Got to Denver, was scraping by for a year or two. Like concerts were not,
Yeah.
like rent was hard. Yeah, you know what I mean? So my first String Cheese Incident show was Big Summer Classic at Red Rocks, and Yonder played before.
Oh my
Cheese.
gosh.
And they played
What?
This Girlfriend Is Better that changed my life. So that's my second musical moment. And I didn't see as many Cheese shows after that night as Yonder shows. And in high school, if you would have told me that I'd be traveling for a band with a banjo in it,
We say the same fucking thing.
And that was like a preface too to kind of move into that thing. But like, you know, there's an album coming out. It's a tribute to Stop Making Sense.
Oh, wow.
You may not be familiar with it. I can show you some singles on my way out. But Lord covered Take Me to the River. It's probably one of my favorite things I've heard in a few years.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lord.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Paramore is on there.
Oh my gosh.
There's a group called Girl in Red, and they did Girlfriend Is Better, which is just, that's me. That's my song. I have a shirt that says, I got a girlfriend with bows in her hair, and nothing's better than that. And Chelsea wears bows.
Okay, I just have to know, what was it about String Cheese? I know, I love them,
Yeah.
but like for you, what?
I lost Phish, and I was
Yeah.
a man without a band, and
I get it.
I did some like film friend stuff. I grew up in Ohio, so hookah was kind of a big thing.
Acoustic hookah?
Acoustic hookah, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, acoustic hookah. And I wanted to live in Colorado. I was born in the West and lived all over the place and grew up in Ohio.
Okay.
So it felt like home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like looked up driving to a job interview one day, and Red Rocks was like up there, and I was like, this is it, right? So I was looking for something, and I always have been. After Jeff Austin, I was hopping around trying to force that feeling on things that were there.
I know.
You want to put it somewhere. You have that energy for something, and you want to put it.
I know somebody that's listening that's like, yep, me too. I know exactly the person.
Yep. And then I saw Billy Strains.
And that was that.
Yeah. And in my life, I've always been very sniperish, if you will, about my listening habits. I want to hear every Phish show from this era to that area, every Billy.
You're a researcher.
But the record club has turned me into a shotgun. And I listen to more variety than I ever have in my entire life.
That's what No Simple Road has done for me. When we first started this, I would put on the Dead and Phish. That was it. Mm-hmm. Like nothing else.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, if that's how you want to do your thing, do it, man. But doing the show blew my mind. It opened my eyes up to the wider scene. It was actually pigeons playing ping pong that did
Hell
it.
Yeah. That's Chelsea grew up in Maryland. Like grew up watching them playing pizza joints and stuff.
Yeah.
It
say what you will.
It also opened you more. We talked about this to listen to older stuff again too. Because you used to not like some of it. You don't.
I still have a hard time with the grunge stuff. I can't.
Yeah, it reminds you of certain things. But a lot of times you would listen to stuff out there. You'd be like, oh, like if it was rap or if this or anything else, you'd be like, I'm going to the house. Now he hangs out and all the time.
It was so cool to like the three of us. Like we have tons of musical tastes and in common. But then when somebody's really not like mostly Aaron, he's not into a lot of the stuff that Apple and I are into, and it's just great to have that camaraderie of like because
that's what the record club is.
It's great.
My job to listen to everything to find something.
Yep. And I also think that's a talent too, Kris, to be able to listen to stuff and pick out the one that's got the mark.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? At least for you.
Yeah, and I think why we've been successful is that I do this for my loyal subscribers, not for me.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if it was Chris Howland's record club, it would be traditional bluegrass, progressive bluegrass, sad and sadder country. Right?
That's a subgroup.
Sadder country.
Yeah, sad, Americana. Like that's me, singer, songwriter. That's what I gravitate towards. But it's my job to listen to things that other people love as much as I love what I love.
Yeah.
And the other tenet kind of the community is like, I don't appreciate everything, but I recognize appreciation. And if I see somebody who loves something as much as I love the thing I love, we good. Like, I got you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
There's bands I don't get, but I respect it because I've been there. Like where it's everything,
Yeah.
Kris, do you play music?
I don't play.
I mean, not just on vinyl, but
Put the needle down. Off it goes.
Okay. You don't need to.
The old joke was I play a mean iPod.
I'll bet you're fucking great to have a late night trip fest DJ.
It's not bad.
Here, Kris, take over. You're in charge tonight.
And speaking of that, I just recently put all of our releases on all the streaming platforms. So if your listeners out there want to give it a shot safely, search Heady Wax Fiends Record Club wherever you stream music, and you'll find us. Yeah.
Okay.
Right
well, we're coming to Denver for Dick's.
I was thinking that too.
I'm undefeated.
Oh, really?
You are?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'll have to party together.
Let's hang out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we live about, it's like 5 turns, 15 minutes, no traffic.
Oh
from
my
Dick's,
gosh.
back
Right
roads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
undefeated.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
I was so mad that first year because I got shut out of Red Rocks. I don't do overface, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
got shut out of Red Rocks, and I was like, this is a soulless soccer stadium in Conversation. Oh my God, how wrong I was.
We found last year, at least for me, the sweet spot in the venue. And I'll tell you off the air. Remind me
Yep.
to tell you it's.
I got mine
I
too.
mean, yeah. I'm not giving it up because,
Yeah, what a great way to end my
Fish
so
year.
my day job is as a I run a landscape company.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right
So
on.
kind of like Mother's Day to Labor Day. Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, catch my breath at Dick's. Like all these Portland, Seattle people come, shout out Team Shit Show is what we call ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Team
And,
Shit Show.
Yeah. And we have seen like weeks and weeks worth of live music in one spot.
Yeah.
I know where they're going to be. Yeah. I love Dick's so much. And it's like, it reminds me
Me too,
kind
man.
of the lawlessness of my early
Yeah.
time
It reminds
with
me of the
band.
Dead lot back in the day,
Yeah.
Fish lot back in the day.
Little grimy,
Little dirt,
you know
little
what I mean?
dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I love
Reminds me a lot of the Silver Bowl.
Yeah.
That kind of just like you
Was
said.
that
This
Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this stadium is soulless, and then you drop the right band in there, and it's like, oh
shit.
it just needed
It's
some
like
love.
the first year we went to Dick's, Aaron and I went on our own, and we only got tickets for one night, and we were there through the lot, and I mean, we basically got miracled. We didn't. We paid
$20
not like $20, $30 or whatever, but like I never went on like Dead tour and nothing like that. I didn't go on Phish tour. I just enjoy concerts and music, but having that happen to us at that specific venue and that for Phish, I felt like it was like a blessing. Like we were being knighted. You know what I'm saying? Like
you have been anointed
was
by
like,
the Fish fans.
they want you to be here is how I took it. They want you to hear what's here. And then ever since then, I told Aaron, I was like, that's my favorite spot.
Yeah, we're not missing this.
Mexico. Don't get me started on the Sphere.
Yeah.
Whatever. But Dick's is my all-time favorite, will stay my all-time favorite. I love that you can sit with your people, your posse. You can just sit wherever you want unless you're on the floor. Like, there's so many elements to it. I love being in the desert. I love that. Like, it's just such great memories, great vibes. And when you look around, you see everybody with their crew, and it's dope. It's so dope.
And it's the end of tour too.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and my absolute favorite thing about Phish, and I haven't seen this with very many other artist acts, is that no matter what they're doing, it's somebody's absolute favorite thing that's in the audience.
Oh yeah. You can feel that shit.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
And maybe I'm like, you know what I mean? But like my wife, she changed the way I look at a lot of things because she loves everything. She does not have a negative opinion about music. And I was watching her dance to Everything's Right. And I was like, how the hell can I not have fun next to this woman? Like, during that.
She sounds super
She
fun,
took
dude.
the jaded right out of me. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Gone.
Right on.
Yeah. The other really cool thing that we've started to do, I want to make sure we
let's
can
keep
cover
going.
this, is so the OBIs, it was a lot of labor. We had to like hand bend them all. So we started to move into these. It's a
Will you
uncut
explain
type
what
sticker.
OBI is for people?
Oh
that
yeah,
don't know?
so OBI is it's like a Japanese paper strip that goes around an album with some information.
Okay.
Mainly on American records in Japan, where they explain everything that is in English.
Okay.
So we moved to these uncut hype stickers, right? And I have a lot of friends from the lot art world and fan art world. And so we started to support them by having them do an illustration. And I was writing the write-ups a lot. I wanted to work for Rolling Stone until print media died right when I got to college, kind of. But then I was like, I thought I was sounding the same over and over again. So now we have our members write these hype stickers for us.
Oh shit!
So I would be like, hey man, I know you can't tell anybody. I got an early mix of this. I know what you're saying. Listen to this. Give me 100 words. So it's really important to me to support our people, right? Yeah, we've done quite a few now. And then we have started to do like some art prints based off of these too. Like this is the last hype sticker I wrote, was for Baylor Fleck Drive.
Okay.
And this is the banjo player from Oyo that runs Just a Jar Press.
Okay.
And I love it. I love it because it's like another
layer. Yeah.
You
I
know
love
what?
art too, so I can support art.
That's really dope and innovative of you to have somebody that loves it. Of course they'd want to do it. Why not? And then it's coming.
And it's easy for them.
Yeah, it's easy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
You've tied so many things together, this is amazing.
I think
It's very innovative.
I know that you said that you don't want this to pay your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it should.
I mean,
I do. I'm just saying, like, it's your thing, man. Like, I totally get where you're coming from. I understand, but I feel like something like this could be like when you look at the Stadium of Dicks, everybody in there should be part of Heady Wax Fiends.
I love it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah.
No, but do you get where I'm coming from? Like, everybody in there loves music.
And I think that is a defense attitude
Okay.
to not overextend, make bad decisions to make money.
Yeah.
Look, if this thing,
You're not saying
I'd be
no?
okay with it.
Yeah. You're not gonna be like, oh no, no.
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind traveling to indie record stores for a living. You know, that doesn't sound horrible, but I
shaking a stick at it.
take ballsy chances because I'm okay. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's kind of needed in a way. But like I said, it was frightening, and now it is so exciting, fulfilling. It's validating.
So if somebody wants to join,
Yeah.
what do they do?
So we have a website, headywaxfiends.com. And if they have any questions, they can email me directly, info@headywaxfiends.com.
Okay.
They can find me on Facebook and shoot me a message there too. We have a little bit of an Instagram presence, but not much. Like, I always tell people, like, ask me everything that you need to before you start paying me money.
Yeah,
right?
it's a lot easier to not do it than to kind of go back and.
Yeah. And we have some really cool stuff coming up. We have a couple really Portland releases coming up.
Okay.
So I'm in town tonight. I know this is weeks ago. Polyrhythmics is playing at the Get Down, and we are recording the show to do our first live album.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You deserve that.
That has been my number one goal since the beginning.
And you're here.
The idea was to do it where I live in Denver, right? But my best friend owns an incredible venue in Portland.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
This is one of the best days of my life right now. This day that I'm sharing with you.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm glad to be part of one of the best days of your life,
Yeah.
Kris. Thank you so much, man.
It's it's the raddest thing that we've done so far, and I can't wait. I just absolutely
Polyrhythmics are a
can't wait.
great band.
Like you said when you read about my desert islands,
Yeah.
there's a live one in there. Live albums are every bit as important to me as studio albums. You have a live one, a String Cheese Incident, Elko from Realtors, Rock of Ages from the band, like with the horns.
Yeah.
I want a live album that says Heady Wax Fiends on it so bad.
You got it.
I do.
Here it is. man.
I have a wonder. Does Heady Wax Fiends have a mission statement?
I think the mission statement is the tenets of the community, right? So the mission statement would be to not have a genre theme to what we do and artist forward. Work with the smaller people than the big labels, right? Like, I want to create 500 overnight brand new fans of an artist and sell a bunch of more tickets for their shows, you know, like
keep the music going,
dude. That it turns me on so much.
You're like
to
the
hear
fairy
the artists be
godmother.
like, man, I see your shirts at all of our shows, you know, and I'm in between merch runs, but I'll get you guys some gear too. I'll get it to Blake.
We'll trade you.
Right on, man.
We'll trade you.
I'm in. Yeah.
I feel like you're the fairy godmother for the artists that don't have, that are underrepresented. They're, you know, that's one of the coolest things, that you can jump maybe a ticket sale that was going to be 100 tickets to 250 because you've got these people that are,
and now they got gas money to make it to the next city.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, and I knew this. So like, it's super exciting and cool getting records and holding those. Like the last few days we've had those and like looking at them and everything. But now hearing the story of what goes into that is even more special and more community based and more love and everything.
I mean, it fits with No Simple Road so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there is such a personal experience to every one of these that I've done.
There's nothing like holding an album, pulling those out, especially the colored marble ones. I mean, because I bet, I mean, like, you don't know what you're getting. They're all different, and like looking at them, it's just like so cool holding that and adding to what used to just be the black vinyl.
Yeah,
because I remember the old vinyl, like when they started doing what was it? Styx did it, and some with the laser etching in the album that you could hold and the light would hit it right. And you could see the stuff like album. There's nothing like an album.
It's also very intentional. So I spend a lot of time coming up with what these colors are gonna be, right?
Really?
Yeah, and the names of them. So Bailey Fleck Drive, he's in this old Woody, old school car. Sorry,
you're good,
Mike.
You're good.
So I found this, and my buddy Dylan was like, side panel swirl. Colored vinyl.
Side panel swirl.
You know, and or it could be a song, or I'll find out where the artist is from.
Is your buddy Dylan a photographer?
And it's cheesy, but I
love that
it,
shit.
Dude.
That's growing up, that was all of it. I remember, like you said, Styx.
Yeah.
I remember in elementary school going to the record store with my dad in California and buying a Styx album and bringing it home, and like that thing was like a magical transportation device that I was holding. Like I taking the plastic off and like the smell of it, and then like you said, putting the album on and reading all the liner notes, and you were super lucky if all the lyrics were inside the jacket or on the back or something. Then you were just sitting there like watching and reading as you listened. And there's not that's gone. There's a lot of people now that have no frame of reference for even what I'm saying. They're like, that feeling. But this gives those people and us an opportunity to feel that.
Refill it.
And feel it for the first time if you haven't before.
So our March release is J.D. Crowe and the New South, commonly known as Rounder 0044.
Okay.
I was at Bender Jamboree the first year, hanging out with Jared Walker, mandolinist for Billy Streen's band, and I said, hey, man, like, I think Old and Away and Hartford Aeroplane are the most influential albums on what you guys do. And he's like, yeah. Can't argue with it, but what do you know about this album? And he even wrote it down for me, like as a note, and it's in my like frame box of that festival with the set list that we saw and all that. I got him to do liner notes for me on an insert for that release.
Wow.
And it meant the world to me, and then I found out it meant the world to him.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
So to be able to like, kind of pay back some of these really important people in my life. And there's this thing where I've done some albums for people. Chelsea gets one next January. Yeah, it was about time. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's about time. Yeah. And like, There's some ego projects of mine too. I try not to let those. I sprinkle them in.
Yeah.
But I joke all the time. Like Bela Fleck Drive, it was very expensive pressed once, so I spent way more money to buy 1,000 than buying an overpriced copy on Discogs.
Right. Yeah.
Kris, are you up on the Owsley Stanley Foundation and what they're doing?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. And you guys just had him on, right?
Again,
I haven't got to that one yet.
We've had him on a few times.
They're our most returning guests.
Yeah, because they come back when they do their releases.
4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first release that I had from them was Doc Watson.
Oh, Doc. Okay.
You can hear the tapping of the feet.
In album. And I've always said this thing about artists. Like a good artist will make you listen to everything they've ever done. But a great artist will make you listen to everything they've ever done and everything that made them do what they did.
Yep.
Oh.
So
That is a
Billy
great
Strings made me the biggest Doc Watson fan, right? As one of his major influences. And that album was, I think it was the second album Chelsea ever bought for me, which is a daunting task.
Wow.
It's like
buying you an album.
Yeah, buying me an album. Yeah, I'm like, give me a gift card to the record store.
I'll go find what I need.
Yeah. So it goes back to Phish. Like that's how I found out Talking Heads weren't a radio hits band. Yonder gave me this appreciation for John Hartford that I absorb everything he's ever done. And Billy Strings is Doc Watson. It's not just those are just really solid examples. But that's the thing I tell people all the time is that that this band is gonna change your life when you're going back to the influences.
Yep.
Dang.
Dude,
Wow.
King Sunny Ade, from listening to Trey Band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's my obsession level is I'm gotta hear it all. You know?
And what's trippy about that, when you do that, when you make that commitment to go back and listen to the influencers of the shit that you're into, when you do go listen to the band that you love, you can hear the influencers playing through them.
Absolutely.
And it's fucking wild sometimes. Yeah.
I got well, they're not a silly question, but I'm sure you guys will. It just dawned on me thinking about this, talking about LPs and everything. I think it was one of the first things in my life, in my childhood, probably 7, 8 years old, that started to teach me in a way kind of OCD, but also respect for things. Because when I would touch my sister was 5 years older than me. When I would touch her albums without permission or her showing me what to do, it would be my ass.
Yeah.
It'd be you don't hold it like that. And it goes like this. And then I adopted that. And then when you, you were saying, when you went to the record store with your dad and you bring home that stick sound, you were so careful.
Oh, dude.
Taking it out, each piece of it. Because there's so many pieces to an album too. Especially if you get a double one or one that,
those gatefolds.
And you're so careful with it. It goes in a special place for you to admire when you're not holding it and listening. And it taught me, it was probably one of the first material things in a way that taught me respect for something, which then turns on to yourself. And then also the kind of OCD behavior. I got that that with my discs. When we lived together, it's one of the few fights we ever got in, is because I had a great CD collection, and I'd come home and he'd be I was yeah, listen to my music, but they'd be laying on the ground
in the wrong cases.
Yeah, he'd just take one out and grab it
me.
they get a thumbprint on it, throw it on the ground, put another, and I'm
a LP is art contained in art.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
Dang.
That's some meta shit right there.
It's
wow.
There's art on the front. There's the art you bought, and then I think intelligent writing is art too.
Absolutely.
So you start to get into that, and it's just you asked me why. It's the intention.
I get it. Man.
I love that.
It's so
bringing
dope.
it back around. I love that.
So there's different weights of vinyl.
There is.
So what's the difference, man? Can you explain it to me? Do you know?
I mean, I'm not the best dude to talk about it. I think it's marketing a lot.
Okay.
Some of the really well-made records are heavier.
Okay.
There's a company in Salina, Kansas called Acoustic Sounds. And they have a label called Analog Productions. And they will get the rights to like the Beach Boys catalog and run it as a 45 and put it over 2 discs. And it's 200 grams, right?
Yeah.
And I see that most of what we do is our standard 140 gram.
Okay.
We've done some 180s. I refuse to like market it as a 180. Let's talk about what's on it, not how big it, how much it weighs.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that.
Well,
Like,
some of those ones I have in the bait, those are for my mom stuff, swing records, and ones for because she has up the Rand, like the Victorola, the 76s. Some of those things are like weapons. They're so
you could take somebody's head off.
It's like a dinner plate. It feels like it's like holy shit.
But in like the 70s, they moved this product they called the Flexi Disc, and like they sound incredible and
really
they don't warp. You know what I mean? Like
wow.
Yeah.
So who knows? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. To me, it's about who pressed it is usually what I'll pay more attention to, because there is really incredible pressing plants. You have one here, Cascadia Pressing. They're in is it Oregon City?
Okay,
yeah. I think it's Oregon City. So we did a release with Asher Filero.
Oh hell yeah.
Asher Filero band album, and I got to go watch it be made at a pressing plant. The very first time I got to see a record be made, like keystone moment in my life. Yeah. Like this the whole time. Like,
yeah.
But then I was just in West Virginia to help my partner pack up a bunch of records, and we went to Gotta Groove where we do things, and that was really cool too. Like it's obscene. It blows my mind to think about how it works. I try not to think about it too hard. Yeah. You've seen like the microphone or microscope pictures of all that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just peaks and valleys.
Nope. I put it on Works. There's like an old Calvin and Hobbes strip too, where his dad tells him that how the record spins, it's not traveling the same distance, so travels, and his like mind's blown about it all. It shouldn't work. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, like you put a piece of metal on a piece of plastic, and you have to have a preamp, right? Because the signal's so low, and then it just fills a room
with magic.
Dang.
Yeah,
it's fucking wild, man. So I get it.
Well, I have one last question, or however many questions,
I have one after
aside from your favorite kind of music, like you were saying, you've got the sad cowboy music. What's an album that is really dear for you that has not in any of the genres that you talked about that you love?
Etta James, At Last.
Oh wow. That's solid.
It is, yeah.
That's out of the park right there. Yeah.
You don't even need to
not by asking me.
No,
but
that's how I am with
I know
just by thinking it.
I can hear. I know what it is as soon as the needle hits.
Oh,
I feel like that with Louis Armstrong. What a Wonderful World.
Yeah.
That one does it to me.
Yeah. Oh, Over the Rainbow, the original version.
Oh yeah.
I mean that. Yeah. And then, like, the albums I grew up with, my dad was a Pink Floyd freak. My mom is probably the biggest Cars fan ever.
Oh,
it's like Cars self-titled is like
that was my
makes me
first concert.
sick. You know what I mean? And Animals makes I've lost my father a number of years ago, but I put on Animals and like we're hanging out.
That's your
oh yeah.
That is.
Sorry, that was 5.
Hey,
That's okay.
I'm down with all of them.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time.
But how about of all time? No, I'm just kidding.
All time.
Yeah. All right, Kris. We know you got to get back to the get down, but
to more fun.
Yeah, you're a busy man tonight.
If you had a magic wand
mm-hmm.
and you could make an album for any artist, living or dead.
Whoa.
Who would it be?
Pizza Tapes.
Oh. Solid. That didn't take that. I was expecting you to be like,
You almost didn't finish the question.
Yeah. So for a long time, it was Prince, the Loring Park sessions.
Okay.
Dang.
It's been made unofficially. I don't own it. I would never buy a bootleg. But the pizza tapes, man, that deserves to be on vinyl. I hope to get to a point where I can sit at that table to have that conversation. Maybe I'm there. Maybe I just should try.
think you're there. You should just try.
Yeah, man.
All they can say is no, man.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
never
you're
know
talking
until you
about
ask.
just the giants on that thing and the ease of it. It's very light. It's some of the best acoustic music I've heard. They're laughing between takes. That was a hot one. You guys, yeah. That would be it, without a doubt. And I get to ask all these people that all the time. If you were me, what would you do? I love that prompt because there's always at least one person that wants something that's coming and I can't tell them.
You're like,
and then there's one thing that I'm like, that's a great idea. And then it happens.
yeah. That's dope.
That is my favorite question to ask everybody. So can I ask three of you the same question?
Go ahead, Mel.
Man.
This is my
You got to skip me. I have to really think about this. I have to think about this.
So the question is, if I was you,
if you could have an album,
you could make
pressed.
any album that either repress it because it's hard to find or never got the vinyl treatment. What is it?
Wow.
That is.
Yeah, how's it feel?
That's
tough.
That's a huge challenge.
Wow.
That's very tough.
The only thing that I could think, and I'm not sure if it came out on
That's
vinyl.
what I'm trying to think. Everything I could think of, I had on vinyl or it was on vinyl. I'm trying to think of.
And that's okay if it was already
Shady Grove. Yeah.
Impossible to get.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they repress it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think.
That is
and that's only because I've been playing guitar since I was 12, and 3 years ago I decided I was going to start learning how to pick bluegrass, and I've barely getting there a little bit. And just recently I put on that album, and I don't know why I never thought of it before, but I was like, oh my God, I can just play with these guys.
Hey man, if I see one come up available, it's yours.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
course,
so I've been sitting down here just playing along with that album for the past few weeks.
It's
and
spectacular.
Yeah.
That Garcia Grisman stuff is just
and we're friends with Sam and knowing Sam and his dad and that whole thing is so that would be mine.
If I can stretch the boundaries of decency.
Oh no, here we go.
Well, to put it in there, something I would love to have on which this is, I know it wasn't on album because it's a concert we saw. If I could transport you in a time machine to the Radiohead show we saw here at Modus. It was the first Radiohead we ever saw together, and it was a special one. They hadn't played here in 20,
I think 14 years.
So it had been a long time. To where Tom York, was like, we haven't been here in a long time. I apologize. We're going to do something special. And they did Creep, unlike I'd ever heard it in my life.
Yeah, encore.
That night there was there's some clippets up on YouTube of it, but to have have that on LP, that would be my holy grail, to have that Radiohead July 16th, 2016, whatever. I think that was the date. To have that recording of that night to be able to hear again the way I heard it that night.
Desperately needs a live vinyl release.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you what the fuck? and
so that's fair too. Expand it. Yeah, anything. Yeah. A live recording of them doing their thing on LP.
Yep.
And here's the really mind-blowing part of the whole Radiohead. Our community, there's people in our community that are like, I never got into them. And I'm like, what? How is that possible?
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer to Radiohead. I mean, I liked their grunge stuff a little bit, but I wasn't like deep into them until 2017. And I was like, no, earlier than 2017 because we were up on them.
In Rainbows.
Yeah, when In Rainbows came out, that would be fair to say.
If you like psychedelics and ketamine, man, go listen to fucking In Rainbows sometime.
Right.
Go put on.
And then once you get hooked on that, go listen to the entire catalog.
Yeah.
Pablo Honey,
And
their
then say
first
thank you.
release is very different.
I mean,
right.
What an impressive fan base. What a passionate, educated.
Oh yeah, that's a nerdy bunch
When
of
I
folk.
talked about recognizing
Yeah.
that and things I don't get. Mad respect for Radiohead, what they've done and
How they do it.
just like the community that they built. It's almost Grateful Dead-ish,
Yep.
Phish-ish, whatever you want to call it. It's like
Heady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as an audiophile and a listener, that I've listened to all their stuff so many times. I always hear
Hear new
something
shit.
different.
Yep.
Like pet
You
sounds.
hear like with the headphones on, it's like I didn't hear Tom whispering that in my right ear in the distance that last
Yeah.
time, and they like so much is going on there.
Um,
They're also my vote for who should play the Sphere.
next.
Okay, so
Well, last but not least.
all right. I mean, I don't know what the album name is, but I have two. And I guess it's an emotional reason. Like I grew up and my family, we had this great big house in the Bronx, and there was a lot of partying that would happen. And these parties were centered around music as usual, these, vinyls, and there was a lot of Spanish music, but disco music was the thing. And both of my uncles would dance. Like they knew how to do the twirls and lift and the whole thing. And both of these remind me of my uncles. And it just, I guess it's just an emotional thing for me. It would be Casey and the Sunshine Band and James Ingram, two totally different out of the blue, but James Ingram, his voice, anytime I hear his voice, I want to cry. Like there's something that wells up in me. It kind of
That's an imprint from when you were a kid.
That exactly. That's
sure.
from Magoo. Like it just for me. And Pete is the Casey and the Sunshine Band. Just the fun and the silliness. And
I can picture him with
that's Pete's all-time favorite band. Of like he's seen them like 20 times. And so those
Pete's Phish.
totally
Hell yeah.
opposite sounds, but those two just kind of do something emotionally for me that I would love to just put headphones onto or put, and just listen.
Fantastic
Hell yeah.
responses. I know you all better for
Yeah.
those.
Right on.
answers. Yeah.
All right. So for everybody listening, go to headywaxfiends.com
Correct.
and you will find out
Everything you need
more
to know.
there. And if you have questions for Kris, you can hit him up at info@headywaxfiends.com. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris.
And Kris, thank you, man. And hey,
Thank
brother,
you for what you do.
I got to say, from one weirdo to another, congratulations, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys.
Congrats,
Thank you
Seriously.
so much.
For
Yeah.
fucking making the thing that matters to you matter to other people and giving them somewhere to call home and be with each other.
Yeah, man.
Because you know what, man? We live in a world that is increasingly divisive and we can't talk to each other anymore. And it's scary and weird and fucked up. And anywhere that it's safe for us to be together and hang out and get to know each other, it's the best shit in the world.
Yeah.
That's what matters right now. So thank you, man.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being a part
I
of
had
NSR,
so
man.
much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good luck tonight, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right on.
Like twisting, turn the mission, turning this a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hell of me has been the earth. And alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? One simple road. well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey, what's up? This is Blake Weiland. I'm the host of the Tone Mob podcast. It's a show where I interview guitar people about guitar stuff. We talk about their pedals, their amps, their accessories, their preferences, all that stuff, as well as a healthy dose of whatever comes up. Topics have ranged from aliens to addiction and anywhere in between. Oh yeah, and pizza. We're definitely going to be talking about pizza. So get the show wherever you're listening to this podcast at. Just search The Tone Mob in your search bar and it will pop right up. Come join us. We're having a lot of fun. Thanks for checking it out.